She lives in Berkeley. If you want to know exactly how much I love her, and this book that I'm going to read from, when my book Niagara Transnational came out, I asked them to make it the same exact size as Lori's book, which is 7 by 8 inches, because I liked the way that felt. So, okay. But I'm not going to read from this. I just wanted to show that. I love Laura's work. This is her first book. It's called Swarm Lure, and it came out 10 years ago. She also graduated from SF State, so I feel like she's also a role model in that way. And this was her thesis before it became a book, which is cool. And she has a note about what these poems that I'm going to read are. She says, poems are inspired by English and Italian beekeeping terms and by the gaps and spaces between them. So I'm going to try my best to pronounce Italian things correctly. My apologies if I don't. Abiscampo, bee escape. That a line drawn is not redrawn, empty tubs and washers, that gliding through the sky another motion holds, the dream of the yellow girl, tubular hair, a sudden sucking up. Api orfane, queenless, joining hands and sweet in dance in bows before their shoes, 100 lining, stage left, stage right, endless clockwise circles. Someone shuffles a little less and the rising sound of flight. Beaten metal by the sea, careful feet, winding cloth, what floated just a little. She would send off and welcome back with the same white gesture, blue sails on black water, reeds underfoot, thick with scanning. Apiario, bee yard. The fenced measure taken, the long unnecessary walks, petals from a piece of bread dropped quietly to the ground. Maschera, veil. That behind it a cello, angling supper set among glass, paper-thin candlesticks, and the sweet smoke and lead. Mahogany boat and lifting her towel while well across the water, to find it in a scene, letters with cracked backbones, to replace seagrass each spring and a father's smoke long fingers. Covata a sacco, sack brood. Cluster each egg, brilliant lettering, a cause for white, scale honey, scale wax, flour sacks daily, where she spins in the middle of the road. Akari, mites. Breach of saturated soil, how the shoes will not hold the soles lifted. Chestella del Polline, pollen basket. Her breath delicate, handheld, a bridge to recross daily. She writes them out alone at night, temperate in ink. A signature of droning flight, moving shadows against glass. Understory of timber and wake, flat wind, tugged cloth. When she was 7, she knew the ocean as something halved and put on a shelf, withstood. That she left the driftwood, painted in blue, willfully kelp bulbs and the gathering bees. She would see white birds, many arms, an animal of great imagining, spelling slowly into sand. Atira sciame, swarm lure. Letting their skirts, soaked to skin influenza, call across grasses, thin pale socks, fever bright. and the spells they thought they missed, incurable, surface, brasserie, stutter-mouthed. Counted aloud, her ones and twos counted until she left her voice cut and shining slippery on water. Not another wake in sight, and everywhere sudden bandage. A fumicatore, smoker. Streets of hay on a moonless night, together in a body, the rise and fall, nearing a water tank, an upturned face, wooden in the smoke. To cry the wagon and its horse tightly up a mountain. Covata calcificata, chalk brewed. That their outlines, taken, would be kept in long drawers. Mielata, honey flow. As the unsweetened sweetened, the marching children completing a round, another round, empty glasses and cups returned and filled and pulled again. Dark spent days of lattice and thread and shallow rooted hunger. She knew the noise she made, settled like a rhythm. She knew her heated hands and the river water. Nido, brood chamber. In theory, the leaning of children on wood, painted backdrop thick with beads, a flannel cloud, interior birds crowding through the door. This sea house, this stretch, noticed in the shadow against her leg, the laundry still sandy and wet, the weight of the machine coughing against trees, against sky, against the slow pull of a flight of insects. To run early in the day, cemetery, wharf shacks, puncture each foot into water, a mother's backyard strung between lights, her porous outdoor voice, calls across forsythia, crumpled arm, darning sleeve, wet papers at the gate. Telaino, frame. Baskets in pairs drying along the fence, trumpet vines soaked in tubs and salt, spare winters she takes to weathering, her spoon and measuring cup. Abi non battinatrici, house bees, and past the clock tower, shallow white, veering in a body, ice, capfuls on branches, mouths cupped to brick. Her extension into fog, undress each limb and flattened husk, consider her hands beneath water. Mornings to climb out, seasons bitter glancing, brighter hair and water toes. Alveare, hive. Sleeve in paste and wicket, basket by basket the weight is put, jar by sheltered jar. What is sent and will not carry. So I'll finish Laura there. Amazing book, highly recommend it. And as for my own work, I'm going to read from this this chapbook called Corduroy Road. Some of them. O soul empty boat on violet ocean of crop, mother helping to fold the starch grace of her potato princess. Welcoming brief, she stares at the doorman invading her kitchen. This year the helpers were hired late in the harvest. One will fuck the farm daughter with or without her consent. Stars, the night I saw you by, your coming traced the outline of seasons. Sun enters the day like a call collect, assuming permission, asking forgiveness later. My clan wants for nothing but a bowl that's not broken, a whole one to sip from. Solder me. Let me be an insect on your inner thigh, a drop leaf table. To paint our farmhouse orange, we harvested sugar pumpkins, sucked them down, and shat them out as pigment. We needed all 12 children to get enough gallons for the L alone. On a Thursday, my voice wafted into their ears as they wandered amongst corn, calling them in for a binge. You ripped the edges off Father's thoroughfare, and next ignition, bad girl's punishment equals a going to market for more yards of ribbed velvet Saturday noon. Brother buys boots, a one-time purchase now that he's grown. Sister's fingers revere a needle hours long later. Father's horse's hooves double as snuffers for edge-licking flames at garden corners when he comes home. Dear cough buckles, I want you to close around my throat if the one I love dies. Daymote spins in sunlight by the door jamb. My sudden lyric, your panicked blinking. Baying wolves in human dress, terrorizing a switchback last All Hallows on the Shunpike. Foreign emblem righted by gravity while at sea, tell me the west and east signs of my truly being here. Stretched taut across 2 consecutive fields between mountain and mountain. Look down, daughter. It's the maze in your navel in lieu of a ring or a cord. Animal, I cannot breed you any more than I can love your body myself. A quick death, back to work. Weather comes in streaks, like dashes of seed down a stunted row. My husband chose me for wits and hips. In making the home, we are making many homes, prosperity clones. Imposing random order on rundown things, we planted a tree at each birth. Catenary, a chain on a neck lies this way in a cosine swoop. How tractors avert rivers. The sun will keep you company. I'll cut you a 3rd eyelid. Maybe then you'll see my adoration plain as morning, plain as the mess of hair you culled from the setter today. Villages tumbled out of crossroads. Men believed the season's decay was so soon they must begin right now to work. Workers hooked by the arm in contra or square dance looked each other over for signs of sterility. Womb plumbed as if a churn for making humans out of loneliness. Baby, I hope you've packed your bags already. Else we're in for the trip of our brief, hard lifetimes, wearing like scarves the tripes of grown-ass cows. And here a worn ottoman interrupting the perfect length of the rug. Slavic languages are spoken in the kitchen L. A light shines buttercrass on the blue snow. Question, crumbling, whether men or women can make better choices. You're wrong about the ways we love. The tornado siren sounds at noon. Meet me then on the corduroy road. I'll give you that box you've been seeing at the back of my closet. I'll birth a consensus of sails into your earthen hands. Be a bride, a child given away. The hawk's mouth opens as a door. Step through. Pull day down like a light bulb off a bare shelf. the last one, or next to. Walk a little path dead-ending at an old section of canal. Your spring-fed voice warped by water. Everything collects at the bottom, brown and unflowing. Baby, play into the same hand over and over like a fucking chump that way from birth. Throw the rest carefully before yourself into the pond of the space between there and there. This is the last little piece. And some beings were brought in this false past to new pasture, saying, be with me, and I will make hands out of zero. I will make strong backs from this cold air if we lie together for a while. Be with me. Soon, sure enough, small hands and backs emerged from 1,000 low red holes. Thank you guys so much for listening.